My name is Gavin Cross, and for the longest time, I believed my marriage was unshakable. That illusion shattered in the most unexpected way, triggered by something so small most people wouldn't even notice, the missing tan line where a wedding band should have been. It began when Arya, my wife of 15 years, returned from what was supposed to be a sisterly trip to Portugal. She came back glowing, skin kissed by the sun, hair tousled from the ocean breeze, carrying our kids in her arms. To anyone else, it looked like a picture-perfect homecoming. But when I held her close, something felt off. She smiled, but it was too polished, her eyes sparkling, but not with happiness. It was a kind of sparkle that hides something. I told myself not to read too much into it, but a knot tightened in my stomach. That night, after the kids were asleep, Arya pulled me into our room like we were back in our honeymoon phase. She slipped into a bikini, teasing that she had brought a piece of the beach back with her. I laughed, kissed her like I'd missed her every moment she was gone. But when the strap slid off her shoulders, I saw it. Her tan was even, no pale strip where her ring should have been, not even a faint mark. I said nothing then, choosing to pretend to enjoy the night. But when the lights went out, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, haunted by that detail. Arya never removed her ring. She always said it was a part of her. What changed? In the days that followed, the cracks widened. She clung to her phone like it held state secrets. She giggled at texts she wouldn't explain. She muttered things like, "I feel so free now," while folding laundry, her mind clearly elsewhere. I overheard hushed talks with her sister about another spa weekend, but the tone made my skin crawl. I needed answers. Against everything I thought I stood for, I installed a keylogger on the family laptop, and it didn't take long. I uncovered a secret email account, Sturcell89. The password? Our daughter's middle name. Inside, hundreds of emails. Messages between Arya and a man named Landon Pierce, a travel photographer she had met in Portugal. At first, it was harmless banter, little jokes about cameras. But it quickly escalated into fantasies, confessions, and plans to meet again. She called him darling. They talked about moving in together. It wasn't just Arya. Her sister Celeste had her own affair with Landon's friend, Miles. Their bonding trip had been nothing more than a double date in disguise. I felt like I was suffocating. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed undeniable proof. And I wanted her to feel what I felt, betrayed, powerless, exposed. So I reached out to Darren, Celeste's husband, my brother-in-law. Over coffee, I told him straight, "I think our wives cheated on us." He laughed at first, until he saw my face. "Say that again," he whispered. I showed him the emails, the fake spa weekend, the photos. His hands shook. "You have proof?" he asked. I nodded. That night, I stared at the wedding photo on our nightstand. Her eyes once full of love. Our vows. Our first Christmas. Our daughter's first steps. Then I looked at Arya sleeping peacefully beside me, like nothing was broken. That was the moment I decided. Darren and I wouldn't scream. We wouldn't beg. We would plan, and they wouldn't see it coming. We booked a fake spa trip ourselves, but under our control. We hired a private investigator, Simon Cray, who wired hotel rooms with hidden cameras and traced their every move. And then came the final piece, Walter, Arya, and Celeste's father. Years ago, he had lost everything when their mother cheated. He agreed to help us. He said little, but his eyes carried the weight of it. This time, he wanted the cheaters exposed. By Friday, everything was set. Arya and Celeste practically skipped out the door, glowing with excitement. They kissed the kids goodbye like loving mothers off to be pampered. Arya wrapped her arms around me and whispered, "What I love most about you is how much you trust me." I kissed her forehead. "Enjoy your weekend." As soon as they cleared airport security, I called Darren. "They're in the air." "Perfect," he said. "Cameras are live." We flew into Chicago the next morning, under the pretense of a tech expo. Walter came with us, silent the entire flight, fists clenched. At the hotel, Simon led us into a private room where the live feed streamed. Room 603, Arya and Landon. Room 605, Celeste and Miles. They laughed, kissed, touched like reckless teenagers. No shame, no regret. Walter said nothing. He just stared, then left the room. That night, Simon handed us folders, USBs, evidence piled high, chat logs, GPS records, burner emails, and the image that burned into me forever. Arya slipping off her wedding ring and tossing onto a nightstand. The next morning, while the women brunched with their lovers, Walter bought stuffed toys and a pink gift bag. To Mommy from Ava, to Andy from Max. Not gifts, emotional grenades. And then he brought the kids. My daughters made this mess, he said. Let them see the cost. At 1:13 p.m., Simon texted. They're back. Showtime. We gathered outside room 603. I turned to my son. Eli, whatever happens, be strong. He nodded. I knocked. Housekeeping. No answer. I swiped the card. Chaos. Arya. Scrambling off the bed with only a sheet. Landon frozen, half-dressed. Behind me, Eli's voice cracked. Mom, what are you doing? Arya's face went pale. Walter entered behind me, camera raised. A process server followed, handing her an envelope. You've been served. Arya stammered. Gavin, please, this isn't... You threw away 15 years for a man who doesn't even know your middle name. I cut her off. Landon stepped forward, but Walter's glare stopped him cold. You ruined your own family, Walter said flatly. This is my business. I looked at Arya one last time. I hoped the tan was worth it. And I walked out. We left that room like leaving a funeral. Behind us came cries, begging, but I didn't turn around. Not when Arya screamed my name. Not even when Eli whispered, Is Mommy not coming home? I just told him softly. She made her choice. Now we make ours.